Hello everybody, this is War Story Video Vlog. I am Alex and here is Bill Rannow. And there is a second part of our conversation about Japanese military stuff and Japanese antique stuff. Bill, could you give us some more information about fittings and parts, because it's very interesting pieces, and about this paint too, because it's very important to understand Japanese stuff, and Japanese maybe culture.
Yeah, these are the individual parts for a Japanese sword. These parts were obviously taken off of a Japanese sword.
We just put it here to compare.
Yeah, where the parts go. And this is actually the Koaguchi. This is the Kojiri, the end of the scabbard. The Tsuba, which would be right here. The Fuchi, which would be right here. And the Kashira, which is the end cap, or Kabuto Gane. Kabuto just means helmet.
And that's very nice work. And it is a border of 19th and 20th century.
Yeah.
And did you translate the signs on here?
Yeah, it's made by this artist, Kiyotsugu, and it's Kyosai Kiyotsugu is the metalsmith that made it. Oftentimes they would sign the Fuchi and the Tsuba. Sometimes all parts were signed, but usually only those two parts.
And it's very important, same motif on all parts.
Yeah.
And this it's matching motif, and that's very interesting and hard to believe that it's just man did it.
Yeah.
And here is a monkey family, and they're
eating persimmons. In this scene, you have them climbing a persimmon tree, and they're picking persimmons and eating them. And notice the three-dimensional quality of the fittings. You can actually see in the mouth of the monkey. But super, super realistic in metalwork.
Yeah.
The face is an individual piece of copper pressed into the silver and then crimped in, and then the detail is carved in. The eyeballs are little solid gold eyeballs that are crimped in, and then the detail's finished. And then the center of the eyeball, there's a little piece of shakudo that's inlaid in the center of the gold ball.
And it's very difficult to do it, and every hair.
Yeah, all the hair it looks quite lifelike, actually.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. And all parts are matching.
And then the interesting, the Kojiri, he's reaching with his long arm. And there's
he wants fruit too.
Yeah, he wants fruit, so he's reaching for it. There's a Japanese mythology or a story about a monkey reaching into the water, and he has a real long arm. But this is actually, he's reaching to pick a persimmons tree. So you see the exaggerated long arm, you know, and it's kind of emphasizing the dexterity of monkeys. Japanese call them suru. And here again, you can see, look at inside of the mouth.
Yes, every tooth.
Every tooth, you can see three-dimensionally him eating this persimmon. It looks like he's enjoying it quite a bit.
Yeah. It's quite rare, this detailing. And look at the eyes. It not looks like wrong side.
Yeah. I mean, and you know, compared to my pinky, look at how small the face is. Yeah. Quite detailed work. And they really, when they did these, they didn't have magnification, really.
And how long it takes to to do it.
This might have taken this might have taken the guy a year to make this set of fittings. Several months at least.
Several months of hard work.
Yeah.
And after work, you have to do that.
Yeah, meditate. He had to meditate.
And this is a very interesting
woodblock print.
Woodblock print, yeah. And here we see the meditating samurai and the assassin on the back.
Yeah, trying to sneak up on the guy who's in a meditative state, but he's also hyper aware. Yeah, and you notice that this guy's in this hyper meditative state, and he's chilled, he's relaxed, and this guy's sneaking up on him. But yet this guy's in a relaxed meditative state, but he still has his sword on him, and he's playing his flute, and I'm sure he's perfectly aware that this guy's sneaking up on him. He hears him coming through the brush.
Yeah.
And it sounds different than the wind. You see they're blown sideways from the wind, and you can always tell like somebody walking through grass versus the grass moving in the wind. This guy's aware of it. He's in a real calm state, peaceful state.
An interesting detail about the moon.
Yeah, the moon is out.
Yeah, it's very impressive. And it's when you see all these details and not just the paint with
yeah, there's a story.
Yeah, if you see all this story, you can see how many on the background of all this stuff, of all this small,
the focus
beautiful,
and attention to detail that goes into it.
For to hear if somebody on the back of you. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. And another items, it's parts, it's Tsubas.
Tsubas are the cross guards, yeah, and these are the earliest ones. This one is Muromachi period, or early Momoyama, so 1500s to early 1600s, before the Edo period. And this one's real interesting. It was a part of, your subscribers can look him up, famous American architect by the name of Frank Lloyd Wright. And he was influenced, he went to Japan and he was influenced by Japanese culture and architecture. And his houses are kind of designed in that mid-century modern, but kind of have a Japanese flavor to them. And this belonged to him. He had a collection of Tsubas, and I have a couple of Tsubas that came from his collection. This one's papered by the NBTHK, the Sword Museum.
How much is it?
This one is about $1,500. This one is from the late Muromachi, early Momoyama period again, 15 to early 1600s. And the school, it's a Kokachushi Tsuba. It has a little rim around a flat, very, very thin, delicate plate. I don't know if you can see how thin and delicate that plate is.
Yeah.
But still very, I mean, it's hardened steel. It's forged steel like a Japanese sword. You can actually see the folds and they're called, we call them bones.
Like layers.
Yeah, layers, and you see little knots in the steel, little hard spots. They're hardened just like Japanese swords.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite light though.
Yes.
And then the little maple leaves floating in the water were probably added later. The original plate was probably just the lines, and then the maple leaves in the water swirling, or maybe it's swirling around in the wind, were probably added later.
That's interesting. How much is it?
This one's about $650. This one is a Kokinko Tsuba. Again, it's late Muromachi period. It's a copper-based alloy, mixed metal alloy. It has wave carving, but it's a Kokinko Tsuba.
It's more weight.
Yeah, heavier, but really soft. It's a really soft. It's a soft metal, and it has a color because of the
patina.
The mixed metals. When they patinate different colors.
Yeah.
This particular metal combination patinates a brown.
And those three?
These are iron. These are Edo period, 1700s-ish. This is what we call a Tsukashi or a pierced Tsuba. The interesting thing about this one is the rim is a separate piece from the inner piece. The inner piece is put in, and then the rim is kind of pressed or hammered around it tight. So it's, you know, two different pieces. I always kind of liked unusual iron Tsubas. This one's probably, you know, not so expensive, maybe like $450. This one has like brass. This was probably originally started out as just a flat iron plate, and then these embellishments were added later. These bronze inlays.
And there is a hole for Kozuka?
Kozuka and Kogai. They call them Kogai Ana and Kozuka Ana, the holes. And those are actually filled in because the sword this was mounted on, probably didn't have those. So they filled them in and then put like a little gold wash over a copper plate.
It was so valuable that they just
repurposed it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting. And this one?
This one is probably 1700s. The school is Aizu Shawame. And once you've handled a few of these, the way the scenes are constructed, they're all real similar.
Oh, it's heavy.
Yeah, it's a solid iron plate.
And it's magnetic, yeah?
Yeah. It's like made from sand iron, just like the swords. And these, again, have they're hammered out. You can kind of see a grain a little bit on the side. Some of these Tsubas are multi-layer, where they're three plates, you know, welded together. You can see little hard bumps, these bones on the side of the Tsuba. And this bright, you see those little bright kind of speckles? They hardened it like a sword. So those are little speckles of martensite crystalline structure in the steel. So this is a really hard piece of iron. You know, with little shakado and gold inlays. And then, you know, this boat scene carved out of the iron.
Very interesting. So how much is it?
This one's about probably like $450.
So, and this one is much valuable.
Yeah. Partially it's papered, and
from a famous collector.
Yeah, famous collector, Frank Lloyd Wright. Real early. This is a Kozaka handle for the kogatana that goes in the scabbard of the sword. Here's another one in this set of mounts that has the blade still with it. Little utility knife in the scabbard of your sword. Kind of unusual. It has a horimono, a carving of a dragon wrapped around a Ken sword in the blade in miniature.
And this is a family crest.
This is the maker.
I mean, in front.
Yeah, the family crest. This would have been the samurai who owned it. But if you notice, it's made like a sword. It has a little temper line.
Oh yeah, we can see it. Yeah, it's still here. Interesting.
And then the signature of the maker. This has a little raven.
And the back side, is there something?
The back side has the signature of the smith, this Mitsu Neo, and then his.
And what period is it?
Probably late Edo, 17 to 1800s. And again, this one's made out of shakado, that gold copper alloy. The bird is probably a darker shakado, so it has a little bit different metal content, so patinated. And the beak is made out of a more copper alloy. You can see the color contrast in the different metals.
Yeah.
And then a little silver branch with little gold highlights on it.
And then the interesting details for, like design, because a lot of types of design and home design contains. Yes, but these things you can display. You could display and see on it.
And you could appreciate them like this guy is kind of meditating. You can study them and kind of entertain your mind, looking at all the little details and noticing all the little details.
And so nice pieces for display.
Yeah.
Just in apartments, any apartments.
Any apartment, any house. Yeah.
That's interesting. Very impressive. And there is a samurai helmet. We doing military antiques and we love helmets.
Yeah. Yeah, so this would have been like a real fighting man's helmet. It's a jingasa, which is, you know, kind of the frontline fighting guys. And this would have been the family crest of the samurai that this guy was retained by. Yeah, it's a wood-based. You could see from the damage, there's a little damage in the lacquer, and it's wood with like a cloth on it, and then they use the cloth as a base for the lacquer to hold the lacquer. Almost a paper mache kind of process. And then on the inside, it's red, and there has little squares of gold leaf. The thin gold leaf, you know, laid on top of the wet lacquer.
There is a original chin strap.
Yeah, the chin strap.
Okay.
And this is from the late 1700s, at the earliest part of the 1800s.
And this is not so expensive. How it's old?
No. These range in price. This one's a little nicer, but these range in price anywhere from a couple $100 to maybe $1,000, $1,200 for a really. This one's kind of in the middle there in that $650 range.
And they did so much helmets like this. Why it's so cheap? It's not really cheap.
Yeah, it's hard to say why these aren't a little more collectible. You know, you really don't find a lot of them either. You know, because the lacquer, with age, it gets pretty fragile if it's.
And the last question is the price for those monkey things. Because I forgot to ask it. It costs about
24,000.
24,000 for all set. And how often you can see like this work? This kind of work?
The only place you see this kind of work is in like the Boston Museum of Fine Art. They have a fantastic sword collection. That's like museums that collected this stuff in the late 1800s, early 1900s. Those are the places that have you know, sword fittings or metalwork of this quality. Sometimes on these you'll see little museum curator numbers in like a red lacquer.
Thank you very much for sharing with us your knowledge and your stuff you've shown us. And as you told that you didn't display it few last years because you had to.
I probably haven't displayed any of this stuff for 15 years. My oldest boy is 14, and my youngest is 4. I have 4 sons, so it's kind of wild around my house. So it's not really the environment that I would have this stuff, you know, sitting around on tables. And so I had them packed up in boxes in my office.
And it's a great chance to share it and to display it for more than 65,000 subscribers.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's good. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for our conversation, for our tutorial from you with these things. And thank you, collectors, for watching this video, for press like button and for subscribe for our channel. So, we are finished. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much and goodbye.
До свидания.
Oh, wow.
These are different pieces of metal.
How old is that?
1890s.
Oh my gosh.
And
Okay.
This is the artist that made it. This
Oh
Kyokusai
my goodness.
Tsuba.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, look at the mouth. Look at this guy here. Look in his mouth.
Oh wow. That's some crazy detail.
And that's everybody's reaction when they see
I
this.
said the same. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh, you're kind of expert.
But look inside
How
of it. You
long
can
would
see
that
inside.
take? Yeah.
It probably took the guy a year.
Oh, easy. Wow.
Under no magnification lines.
Oh yeah. Wow. Oh, very cool.
So that's what we're videoing. He has like almost 70,000 subscribers on his YouTube
Oh,
channel.
really? Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah.
He's a Russian
That's awesome.
YouTuber, Russian YouTube star.
That's awesome. Well, neat.
And then
oh my goodness. Oh, that's so
This
pretty.
black.
Beautiful. Cool. Oh my goodness.
See the little silver wires that are
Yeah.
inlaid in the feathers for the bird?
Oh my goodness. That's like super talent. I wish I could make something
These are
like
like
that.
250, 300 years old.
Oh my goodness. Ah, wow.
Each one of those.
Wow. Okay. Super cool.
Yeah, and this is an incense burner.
Oh yeah. That is just
With little
gorgeous.
leaves, Paulownia leaves.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
You like it?
Oh, super. Yeah, this is gorgeous.
The front,
Oh, that's just.
front detail
I can't
and
believe the
back detail.
hairs on that. That's crazy.